Oh, baby, ash&burnz here. This is number 45.
45.
Season 3. People are probably going to YouTube going, where's episode 17 through 40? And because our YouTube has a big gap in playlist.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Rumble.
You have to pay for those.
They're free. They're free on Rumble. ash&burnz. But we were afraid that YouTube was going to dock us on something. Yeah, so we went to Rumble.
Because we like to talk our mind.
And
people don't like to hear
the
that.
YouTube community doesn't want us to hear what's on our minds if you use certain words. Like, like that. The bad allergy everybody had in 2020 from the bats. We can't talk about that, so we had to make up another name for it. And so if you want to watch a bunch of our episodes, you can go to Rumble and watch them. I guess eventually I can put them on YouTube, but I think we'll just leave it like it is.
That's a lot of work.
That's a lot of work. And this, right now, we'll just, when we recover it one day when we're big, we'll say the hidden episodes and we'll bring it out retro
the
style.
Lost levels.
The lost levels. I like that.
Yeah.
You still going pretty good?
Yeah, I'm going.
Okay. And so that's pretty much it with that. That was a Tyson and Paul fight tonight.
We got to do an intro.
Yeah, I guess we're going to do an intro.
I say let's just free flow.
Welcome to the Ash&Burnz podcast. Podcast where we talk about anything we want to. We talk about conspiracies, paranormal, video games, politics, according to plans. Ash&Burnz podcast.
That's right. You're the one and only Ash&Burnz, number one in the sun. Welcome. I had a topic I want to talk about tonight. Something that's near and dear to all of our hearts. Can you guess what it is since this is the second take?
No. Why don't you tell me? I wasn't paying attention.
Video game systems.
Systems.
Yes, we talked about
consoles.
We talked about the games in the past. Now we're talking about the consoles that came on.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember my first experience with the video game. It was at my cousin's house. They were playing Pong, and I think they had Combat. It was another. Yeah, I think I played Combat.
What was the handheld controller like?
It was the dial.
Yeah.
Doot, 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 doot. And then
reminds me of when I was 15.
What, turning radio?
Yeah, tuning
radio
to Japan.
And then years passed by, and the family got an Atari system. And
The stick one.
Yeah, with the stick and the button. And I remember plugging it. Well, you didn't plug it into your television. You screwed it in into the back of the television, and you put it on channel 3 or channel 4, and then you flick the switch, channel 3 or channel 4, and then you had graphics, killer 2-bit graphics, I guess, or 4-bit.
They didn't plug into the actual big old huge console. Because wasn't the console like?
Oh, it was about the size of a fat laptop. Yeah, and it was brown. Had a switch like a big
made
lever.
Out of oak.
Probably, it looked like it faux oak. If anything. And I remember it was a cable that ran from it. It was like a flat cable, and had this box, and you had to screw in the box like on screws to the connectors in the back of the television. Mm-hmm. And
the little U.
Yeah.
You slide it in.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
And I had I played Combat, and I had this submarine game. I can't remember the name of it to save my life, but I played the piss out of it. I had Pitfall, of course. Later, I had Pac-Man.
Was it better than E.T.?
My friend, yeah.
The submarine game was way better.
Oh, way better. My friend had an E.T. game, because this was the 80s. Like E.T. Phone Home. And that E.T. game was dumb. You fall in pits and extend your neck and fly out of the pits, and it's like man would chase you. I don't remember the goal of it. I just remember falling in pits all the time.
I think it was to find the phone.
Was it the phone home?
The home. Yeah, the phone home.
Makes sense.
I don't know.
That game was horrible. But, I mean, and then, had Atari for years and years, and then I don't remember the next thing until I went to another cousin's house, and they were playing Mario Brothers. And I was like, oh, my God, look at the graphics. You can see the little mushroom dots. You can see he has a hat on and overalls.
Can't get better than that.
You can't. Doot, 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 doot. I was like, it had like, it felt like it had eternal, it had like 1,000 levels, it felt like.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, you're on this level and you go on this pipe and you're in this level. Oh my God, you can swim. Blew my freaking mind.
Was it 3 levels and then a castle? So
I think it was like 7 or 8 levels. Wasn't it the original Mario?
No, I'm talking about like it was like 1-1, 1-2, 1-3,
yeah.
and then a castle.
Yeah.
The first castle.
Uh,
So each like 1 would have 4, and then 2 have 4.
no, I think it was just 1, 2, 3. Everyone had a castle at the end of it. You jump the pole, and I think there's a big castle at the end of the level, and you move on to the next stage. Like the next stage would be underwater or something. I think.
Yeah, because it goes up to 8, and if that's the case, it would have 32 total levels.
Which blew my freaking mind.
It's a lot of levels.
Yeah, and so I got Nintendo, and Mario Brothers, Donkey Kong, Master Blaster.
Yep.
Played the crap out of that.
I got it.
Yeah, I remember you showing me that. We would go to Blockbuster and get games to plug in. Ninja Turtles, the first one.
Yep.
On
I have it.
Nintendo.
Yeah. Which was based off of the comic book and not the cartoon. Didn't know that, did you?
I didn't know that.
Because on the cover, all of them had the red.
Oh, Eastman and Laird style, original style, the red.
Yeah.
So I played the crap out of Nintendo. My friend had a Sega. That's when the 16-bit war started.
Mm-hmm.
So that Christmas, my friend got a Sega, and I was fortunate if I got a Super Nintendo and a Sega that same year. I don't know.
Spoiled brat.
Yeah, I've never gotten presents like that. Apparently, money was good back then.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh, dude, it
was that, Reagan?
After Reagan. Probably George Sr. No, maybe Reagan. I don't know. Anyway. I got it all listed out here when it came out, but we'll go over that here in a minute.
Good gravy.
Yeah, dude. I did my research on this one. I got dates and times and fun facts on all the gaming systems. And so, but I want to hear your story with gaming systems then. And so then I went from Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. Genesis always had the best sports games. If you want to play like a basketball or football game, Genesis was the best.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo was better side-scroller.
Yep.
And then my friend got an adapter for his 16-bit Sega that had a CD player on top of it. Do you remember that?
The Sega CD?
Yeah. You'd plug it in, you go into the cartridge, and it had a CD player up top. And
I remember that.
We could play like 16 or 32-bit games. I can't remember. It became on CD, and I was like, wow, this is crazy.
I think it went up to 32.
32? And then, I mean, that was, to me, the golden age. Blockbuster, renting games, beating them, staying up all night with your buddy, beating them.
Mm-hmm.
You had all the Sega library, you had all the Nintendo library, 16-bit. It was gangsta. And then I never got a Game Boy. No, I'm lying. I got the original Game Boy version 1. LED, where you start moving and you can't see the screen. Thought it was cool as crap.
Yeah. When the lights went out, so did your game.
Yep. They made little adapters you could attach to it, and it'd light the screen up for you. It had a magnifying glass. I remember that.
And then Game Boy Advance introduced the backlit screen.
Yep.
So.
And then had color, and then they had I don't remember all of it, but and then I remember. Okay, so Super Nintendo, Sega, and the next 32-bit system came out was PlayStation 1.
I think, because I'm thinking PlayStation was 32.
Now, I read about PlayStation years ago. Sony was collabing with Nintendo, and it was going to be Project Dolphin
CD.
or something like that. Dolphin.
To make CDs.
Yeah. Nintendo said, "Nah, we're good. We're going back out." So Sony was like, "Well, shit, we've done all this. We'll release our own PlayStation."
Yep.
And PlayStation 1, man, that I remember the demo disc it came with. Do you remember that?
Not the demo, but I remember Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider?
Because my friend had it.
We
were looking at triangles.
Look at this boobs.
Them triangles.
Virtual Fighter? Remember Virtual Fighter?
Yeah.
I was like, look at this 3D environment. This is insane. So 32-bit war was going on. I don't think Nintendo had a 32-bit yet. I think they skipped 32, didn't they?
I think so, and they went straight to 64.
64, which was a killer system.
Mm-hmm.
Who else was out Sega didn't have no, they had Dreamcast.
Yeah, they had the Dreamcast come out.
Was that 64 though?
I think it was. I mean, don't you have?
I do. I'm just trying to go off memory. We'll actually do the facts here in a minute, but
Yeah.
I had a Dreamcast.
My friend had one. I didn't.
The controller, you could stick a little stick your memory card in, and your memory card, you could play games on it.
Yeah.
You remember that?
It was like Digimon.
Yes. Chow Babies or something like that.
Yeah.
Chow, yeah. Sonic games were killer on the Dreamcast. I played Shenmue. That was killer on Dreamcast.
Didn't play any of that. I think the only games my friend had, DJ, was Time Crisis, I think, and then a couple others. Nothing real too fancy.
Yeah. So I had a PlayStation 1 and a Dreamcast. And then Nintendo came out with the 64. And the 64 with Mario and Zelda.
Yeah, never had the Mario 64.
Never had it?
No.
It's such a good game, dude.
Yeah, that's what everybody says.
Such a good game. It's like, in my memory, it sticks out as much as the first one.
I think the only time I ever played it was like at the Walmart when they used to have the setup where you, it's like,
yeah, and that Batarang controller, you can hold like this, hold like that. That was a crazy controller.
Yeah.
I remember looking at it going, that's a lot of buttons. Because, Super Nintendo had the 4 buttons.
Mm-hmm.
Did it have bumpers?
Yeah,
it had bumpers,
yeah.
and it had the D-pad. And I thought that was crazy.
6 playable buttons, and you had start, select, and then the D-pad.
And then, best my memory, I remember the joysticks on 64 were the best joysticks ever. It seemed like they were very sensitive and very precise. The PlayStation ones were great too, but for some reason I remember that controller, and you can get the Rumble Pack. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
For a Zelda game, you stick that Rumble Pack on, and you get near a treasure, controller would vibrate. It's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So 64 was a killer system. Star Fox, all that.
Yep. I got that.
Star Fox.
Yeah. I went on a kick where I was getting all the retro stuff.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Star Fox was on Super Nintendo as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I had Pilot Wings in Star
I believe
Fox.
I have it.
You keep it. Yeah, that's right. You got a remodel or a remake.
Well, it's like
emulator.
the 3. You can do Nintendo, Super, or Genesis all on the same console. But I'm talking about my games. My games fill a duffel bag.
That's right. You brought them over one time. It was crazy. I remember
I
that.
just got them all lined up.
I had a gold Ocarina of Time cartridge, which at the time was like boss.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, yeah.
Well, the Zelda was really.
Yeah. And I had.
And they switched to the gray, like a normal basic.
Yeah, but
that's
you
the one I got.
You can get the gold one. I had a Rumble Pack, and I had a gold controller.
Mm-hmm.
And I played Ocarina of Time obsessively. I beat it several times.
Oh, yeah.
It was such a good game. Mario 64 was really good.
Well, I know Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time, I remember I played them so much that I beat both of them, because when you got all the way to the end and beat it, it shows you how many times you died. I beat both of them without dying.
Really?
Ever.
That was not me. But you're like, I'm a casual gamer, and sometimes you flick on a switch where you're a pro gamer, and then then your friend, he's a pro gamer.
Yeah, and my brother.
And your brother, your brother's he's a pro gamer.
They get into it.
Yeah, I played with him.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, chill. This is recreational for me. Anyway,
no, it's life.
They're good at it though.
Yeah,
they understand the game, and they're working on it quick and fast. And I'm just like, I'm having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So 64, I had it. I never got a GameCube. I skipped that totally, because I think PlayStation 2 came out right around that time.
I believe so.
PlayStation 2 was a monster console. Remember that?
Yeah.
Saddam.
It was the highest selling console.
I think it ran for like 13 years as a 13-year-old system before they replaced it.
Yeah.
I think that's right.
Yeah, and you were saying Saddam Hussein.
Saddam Hussein bought, when they first came out, you couldn't get them. It was a shortage because Saddam Hussein bought all of them, that he could.
And he refurbished them into missiles.
Guidance missiles. Guidance systems for missiles. Yeah. Because at the time, they were like supercomputers, PlayStation 2s. And, of course, that's when I got the hard drive and played Final Fantasy 11 on it.
Mm-hmm.
And that PlayStation 2, bro, that thing is my road dog right there. I get cremated, take the PlayStation 2 with me.
I had one. It was
really good system.
yeah. I remember buying Kingdom Hearts for it.
Yeah.
Because I bought it when they were like, I never heard of Kingdom Hearts until it was a greatest hit, $20. I was like at Walmart one day. I was like, oh, this is kind of weird. This dude standing here with Donald and Goofy.
Never played it though.
And then on the back of it, it showed Mickey, and I was like, this is crazy, little Disney game. I took it home, watched the opening movie, and I was like, by the end of it, I was like,
really, that good of a movie,
dude.
Game.
I was from opening movie, I was hooked. And then I played it all the way through. I went back and bought the strategy guide.
Remember buying strategy guides?
Yeah.
Remember before the internet, you had to like go to a magazine stand.
Yeah.
I had Nintendo Power. I got that for Christmas when I got
those. Really didn't get in depth. They would tell you like an overview.
Yeah, they had sometimes they'd have a little article like cheats.
Yeah.
But everybody knows the Contra code, and that's before the internet.
Yeah.
Up, down, left, right, BA, select, start. How'd that get around so quick?
Well, select start is for 2 players, but yeah.
Yeah, but you can get like the 99 lives or whatever and beat
30.
Contra. See, you know what I'm talking about.
It's 30.
And but I had Nintendo Power, and you go to get Game Informer and stuff like that, but back before the internet. And then when like internet came around, like Windows 3 or something.
Yeah.
And you type in these forums, and it'd be like these guys going, well, actually.
The guides were made out to where it's like the first page was, I forgot what it's called, but it's like drawing X's, but you make a picture out of it.
Yeah, ACCI, ASCI, AXI or something.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. Yeah, I remember.
Kids don't know.
Nope. The struggles.
Yep. And then what time did
Or it was playground information. You get, hey, man, remember this code?
I remember Mortal Kombat, dudes would have pieces of paper with the fatalities written on them. And it got copied in school. You'd just copy them down. And so you'd be like, fold this old piece of paper out with like Scorpion's fatality.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah. Street Fighter. It was like contraband.
Yeah.
Do you remember Game Genie or Game Shark?
Yeah. I never put one in because I heard it could ruin your system.
I did it.
Literally rewrote code, but
Game Genie. I had Game Shark, but yeah.
Well, Game Shark, I think, was for PlayStation. But Game Genie was Nintendo.
Had a cartridge, yeah. But do you remember that, though? You could put in cheat codes and reprogram the game. That was a big deal.
Yeah.
And nobody judged you for it like they do nowadays.
Well,
game is not recreational as much as it used to be.
No. Depending on which type or which one.
So then the PlayStation 3 came out. 360 came out.
Well, for the PlayStation 2 to battle it, Xbox released the big old black box, the original Xbox.
I totally forgot. Microsoft jumped in the game with the Xbox at the PlayStation
Halo.
2. Halo. And Halo, that game was ahead of its time, if I remember correctly. Because we had GoldenEye.
Yeah, 64.
Yeah, it was like, oh, that's awesome. And then I think the first real shooter was the Halo 1 on the Xbox. I forgot about the Xbox.
And you had that LAN party.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God, that's right.
Yeah, everybody brought their Xboxes over.
I remember.
Everybody had a TV.
I remember like retro pictures of tube televisions and bros. Like they turned the TVs away from each other.
Yeah.
LAN party.
Ain't no screen looking.
I know.
You cheater. My group used to beat people up if you screen looking.
Really?
Yeah, it was serious.
Gangsta.
It's serious.
That was so much fun growing up and being at those pivotal points in games.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's right. So Xbox and PlayStation 2 were head to head. And then PlayStation 3 came out, and didn't the 360 come out to compete with it?
Yeah.
360 was a great system.
Unless you got the red ring of death.
I got it twice.
Dude, my friend DJ got it like 6 times, man.
Holy crap.
It was like every other one he's buying.
I got it once, returned it, they replaced it. I got it twice.
Well, eventually they quit replacing.
Yeah, this is early though. When I
Once
first
you
got
get it, it's like,
so I went on,
buy another one.
I read online you replaced the coolant on the chip. Yeah. You replaced all the coolant. You was with me that one day. I went and bought another one.
Maybe.
Because you replaced the coolant on the chip, and I tried that, and it didn't fix the red ring. And so one night I was like, I want to get another 360. I think me, you, and B-Rye went out and got one.
Probably. That was probably when I first moved up here.
Probably. So yeah, I've had 360s. I've had one PS2. I've never had a PS3 because I had a 360. I skipped the 3.
Yeah.
That's when God of War stuff was coming out. I think 2 and 3. And then
the original.
Yeah, which was crazy game. It was good.
Never played it.
Game changer. It was another one of those game changers. So in depth puzzles and the fighting and the dynamics, and then so 3 and then
4.
I've got a PS4, which that brought you up to the modern age. But 4 was good. And did they come out with like the 360 Pro or an X or?
Well, they had the PlayStation 2 Slim.
Yeah.
Which was upgraded but slim, and then it went to 3, and then that's when Xbox released the Xbox One. The original Xbox One.
Is when the 3 came out? So the 4 came out.
That's when it went to Xbox One Pro or whatever.
And then the 5 came out, and now they're Xbox One? Or S?
Series X.
Series X.
Yeah, S. Yeah, it was 1, S, and then X. And it was like basically just upgrading.
I remember when Nintendo held held the share of all games. It was the beast. Your grandparents, everything was Nintendo. We get you Nintendo. It's like, well, God of War's coming out. I'll get you that Nintendo game.
It's like,
and then I realized when my grandparents was calling it PlayStation, I was like, okay, they're a big dog now.
yeah.
But so yeah, the GameCube came out, and then they came out with the Wii. Wii was cool. I think Wii was one of the best-selling consoles of all time.
It was one of them. It was just below PS2.
Yeah.
Nothing's beat the PS2.
Yeah, because I think retirement homes were buying them because you could virtually bowl, baseball, box. That was a big thing.
My in-laws bought one. I never bought one.
In-laws upstairs bought one. I had one. People that don't play video games had a Wii.
What was the family? Nintendo was marketing it as like the family, like family night.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not really for serious people. It's just for people to get around and play games.
I noticed Nintendo, they've gotten.
Well, they've always been around about like the family.
Yeah, yeah. But back in the day they had like anime games, and now they started it's just Mario, Zelda, Metroid, Icarus, whatever. Smash Brothers came out, and they came out with the Switch. There's 4 Switches in this house right now.
Good gravy.
Wife has one, I have one, kids both have one, so it's like Switches. It's just convenient,
Yeah.
And then the 5 came out, PlayStation 5.
Oh, look, you got Breath of the Wild?
I don't have Breath of the Wild. Any good?
I don't know. I was wanting to try it.
I don't have it.
I heard it was really good, and then Tears of the Kingdom's the sequel to it, and then they're working on a new one now where you play as Zelda.
Ooh.
They're taking Link out of it. It's like your Zelda have to save Link or something.
Well, you know what? Actually, I roll my eyes, but I am getting tired of Link saving Zelda. Change it up. No, I get it. I haven't played Breath of the Wild.
You can't change it up because they changed it up from 1 to Zelda 2, and everybody hated Zelda 2. And
Yeah,
I thought
it
it was really
weird.
I thought it was awesome.
It was weird.
I liked how you did the whole over the view, and then when
Side
you get into a
scroll.
city, it's side scrolling.
I tell
loved
you,
it.
a big difference was Mario 1 to Mario 2.
Well, because it was a reskin.
It was a reskin. It was Adventures of Aladdin or Sinbad or something like that,
Yeah.
and they reskinned it to Mario.
Yeah, because technically Mario 2 in Japan was what we got as lost levels. They were harder levels. It was because it was harder.
And then Mario 3 came out. Remember The Wizard, that movie?
Yeah, that's what launched 3.
It was supposed to be like it was Mario 3. It's going to be insane. I think it was insane if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that movie was awesome.
What's your earliest memory? I've done a lot of talking.
Nintendo.
So your first game system was a Nintendo?
Yeah. Played and beat Contra at like 6 years old. But it took me a while.
Oh, I was gonna say
And
that.
I
Dang.
definitely used the Konami code. Yeah. But yeah, that was one of my ones I beat. My dad he bought it because he played it, and he played the original Zelda, and he played it for like months. I don't know if I told you the story,
Mm-mm.
but he played it for months, get home from work because he was a Marine. Get home, play like an hour and a half every night, months. He got near the last castle, right? And then my friend, I can name bomb him, Michael Schmelin. He was like, let me borrow it. So I was like, all right, cool.
No.
So I let him borrow it. He had it for a couple weeks, got it back. My dad's save file was deleted.
Because it used to save on the cartridge.
Yeah. It was 3. Instead of him picking a new unused slot,
he wrote over your dad's.
He deleted my dad's and started a new one. And when my dad found out, he was like, I'm done. And he never played another video game.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. But
he was cool with it. He made peace with it. It's dead now.
Yeah, he's
I
just
gotta
like,
move on.
dead. He's dead. But my dad used to play Punch Out.
Punch Out. Yes, Mike Tyson Punch Out.
We didn't have Mike Tyson. We
was Mr. Wonderful, whatever.
Mr. Fantastic.
Something like that. I think you're right. Speaking of Mike Tyson, they're not starting until another 50 minutes.
Yeah. I went back and bought the Mike Tyson one, but that's when he started getting out of legal trouble about domestic violence. And so Nintendo's like, we got to cut our ties. So then they introduced Mr. Dream. Mr. Dream, I think's his name.
That might be right. I don't remember. I thought it was Mr. Fantastic or Mr. Wonderful or something like that.
Well, I know Soda Pop was before. I think it was Mr. Dream.
Okay. White guy too, blonde hair.
But it was just one punch, just like Tyson.
Yeah,
one
had an uppercut.
Yeah. So it was like, but I had a lot of games. I played a lot of games on Nintendo. Grew up with it, and then we eventually got a Super Nintendo. Well, I got one, and then because my friend across the street, he had a Sega. So I used to go over his house and play Sonic the Hedgehog with him, and then he would come to my house and we'd play Super Nintendo. And then eventually, when we moved, because that's shortly after that's when we moved to Alabama, and then I got a Genesis. And then, man, I remember one year Christmas going there, opening it up, and it was like one of those clothes boxes, like the generic size.
Yeah.
Open it up, dude. It was like literally. Well, it was one of the ones that were real thick, like a sweater or something. Open it up, and there was literally like 8 or 9 Sega Genesis games in there.
Not the console, just the games?
No, they were all in like packaging.
Oh, okay.
Because I already had the console, so it was like one. But here's the thing, they were all like out of the dollar bin.
Okay, here we go.
I remember the main one
Goonies.
the main one was Arch Rivals. It was a little basketball game.
I kind of remember that game, actually.
For Genesis.
Yeah.
It was a little cheesy, but I didn't have like any of like the really good ones like Toe Jam and Earl or nothing like that.
Toe Jam and Earl?
Yeah.
I had that game.
I
rented it.
Yeah, we rented it.
I think I rented it.
Yeah. Because again, Blockbuster.
Oh,
and then there was a family owned place up the road too that
we had Choice Video.
Yeah,
and it was a family-run place.
It was also a video place, and they had a very small game selection because it was like a little bit bigger than maybe this whole room here, but then like that room too. But like the little section over there, tanning beds merged together. You go get a tanning.
Choice Video, same thing.
Get out and get you a little.
Choice Video. It was on West Mountain Street in Kayville. And they had a video store and a tanning room. And in the back, you had these like saloon doors. It was adult videos back there.
Ooh.
Yeah. When I turned 18, I went back there. And I was like,
Did you just like strut in?
Well, I'm nervous. I walked back there and I looked, and I was expecting to be like, I don't know, I expected it to be like glowing when I walked in.
Glowing.
Like, like just everything.
Black light.
No, it was just regular like this. It's just on wooden shelves. They had little tags. You take off the hook and take it up front. And I thought that my experience would be better. I walked
no
in
boxes. It's just like tags.
It was the empty boxes.
Oh.
And a tag under it on a hook.
Oh, okay.
So
take the tag up. They get you a video. Yeah,
so I remember walking in there, and it was like bad lighting, wooden shelves, and I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting in there. I don't know if I thought it'd be like, oh, it's gonna be fucking awesome. Oh, we're gonna freak on in here or whatever. I don't know. I walked in and I was like,
18.
I was like, oh,
You're raging.
yeah, back then. Oh yeah, dude, I had slow dial-up internet. If I wanted to download a picture of some movies, it took overnight.
Yeah.
Kids nowadays.
But you could pause it, and it would buffer in.
Yeah, you'd have to
press play, and it was like,
oh, a video,
or even a
125 quality.
a picture. You could pause it, and it would pause where it was, but it would continuously.
Oh, I don't remember
whenever
that.
you like
Line
click
by line.
it would come all the way in.
But yeah, I remember. And then you go to the Blockbuster and buy like used games. Like that was just bullshit and scratched all up.
Dude, I remember one time I went to Blockbuster before they actually were like, it was like at the time they were like shutting down. I was still in Florence, and I walked in and they had like the PlayStation games all in a bin, and I picked up a game. I was like, man, this kind of looks all right, and it was like $5. So I went and I paid $5, got it, took it home, played it, and I was like, man, this is flipping awesome. And then I had it all the way up until I moved to South Alabama, and this dude stole all my games. We lived in a house. It was like 3 of us lived in a house together, and then he worked in the same place we worked, and he would come over and hang out. Well, one night when we all went out to another friend's house, he got on the phone with his cousin because we never locked the door. His cousin went over there and just cleaned he cleaned my whole game system collection, all that. But the game I bought for $5 was Kingsfield, and that game now is worth like $350, $400 if you try to go buy it or buy it off of eBay.
You had it.
And I had it for $5, dude. And that game is like a
For its
PlayStation.
time.
Yeah, PlayStation 32-bit. It's real clunky, but it's just the gameplay of it, and that's what I loved about games. Is most of the time, most people be like, "Man, this game looks stupid." It's like, well, dude, it's like the gameplay part of it.
I remember the covers of video games. Look, nothing. Mega Man.
Yeah.
The cover of Mega Man.
Well, the first one is the dude holding a gun.
Rock Man. He's like,
He's holding a gun.
You play the game, you're like,
and then the gun's on his arm in the game. It's like, what the heck?
It's like, I want you to draw a blue guy with a gun. That's our game. Okay, I'll draw it. Here you go. Put it out.
Yep.
Put it out.
Get it out. That don't look anything like him, but get him out.
So you went from, when did you get the Super Nintendo?
Oh,
You got it at the same time your friend got the Sega Genesis across the street.
Well, yeah, that was in South Carolina when I lived, and got that, and then, or maybe, yeah. But it was shortly after I got it is when I turned around 10, and then that's when we moved to Florence. So it was like, and I think it was like a year or two in the Florence is when Christmas I got my Genesis, and it was like the following Christmas I got the bundle of games. Arch Rivals, man, that game is like, it was a game that's like basketball, but then like you can also, it was like bare knuckle fighting, it's like you could foul.
I swear I can't remember that game.
If you foul, they didn't go like beep foul and you take free. It was like all legal, so it was like free for all.
I'm sure I rented that game because I was into basketball. I played Magic Johnson Fast Court, and I played EA Sports basketball. I played all those games. But I'm sure I kind of remember that game.
Yeah. And then I would upgrade, of course. Dude, there was one I can't remember if it was on Super Nintendo or Genesis, because I had both of them eventually. But it was a Mickey Mouse game. I think it was like Mickey Mouse and the Magical Kingdom or something. But that game was flipping. I can't remember, like I said, if it was Genesis.
Probably Genesis. Genesis had a lot of. If I remember correctly, Genesis had better movement in their games. Like Aladdin on the Sega Genesis just moved.
It a little smoother.
Yeah, and Nintendo didn't. And so for some reason I remember Genesis games had
Probably
more
a
Disney
Genesis.
games.
Probably a Genesis. But I remember one time I was playing it, and this is about the time I was about 13, 14. Been working out a little bit. Had a pretty good friend, lived up in the trailer park with me, and he'd come down to my house. He was older. He was like my brother's age, but he hung out with me, but he's the one that taught me really like our style of kung fu. Yeah,
I did the same thing at that age.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, so I'm sitting there playing it. He comes over and I had a blowgun at the time, a little dart blowgun.
Oh yeah.
You know, because we were ninjas. You know, and so I'm playing it, and he was putting spitballs in it and shooting spitballs out of it, and you know, and then he eventually started putting darts in it and was like shooting it into a little box or something, you know. And so he loaded up, and my mom was like cooking or something. She's like, "Come on, dinner and all this and that." So I was like, "All right." So I paused the game, and we went in there and ate. And then when we come back, I picked up the controller and started playing again. And apparently, I guess he forgot he preloaded one, and he rolled a ball in it, like a spitball in it, and went, and it shot me in the arm, and it hit me, and I was like, "Ow, man!" He was like, "It's a spitball." And it was like 5 minutes goes by, and my arm was still hurting. I was like, "Dude, you must have flung some, like, never took my eyes off the screen." I was like, "Man, you must have put some heat on that spitball, dude. My arm's still hurting." And by that time, I looked down, and dude, that needle of that blowgun was this long. That much of it was in my arm.
He's sitting there. It's just
in
ow.
there. It's just in
Ow.
there. I'm just playing. I was like, "Dang, man!"
Nick
After
the
a
bone,
while,
probably.
yeah. After a while, I was like, "Man, my arm's still hurting, man. What the heck?" Look down, it's a little, and I pulled it, and I remember when it got to the very tip, because they're like laser edged or whatever, and it was like barely a little lip, and it was like boop, like popped as it pulled out, and I was like, "Oh, dang, dude." He's like, "Man, I'm so sorry." I was like, you know, it's all right." But that's the game I remember playing, was the Mickey's Magical Kingdom or something. It was a really fun game because it's from what I remember, the gameplay of it is you have certain powers you can do. Throw a bubble, make a platform, something. But it was also like a platformer but puzzle game with it too. I think that's about right. I don't know. My brain, all I remember is getting shot in the arm. I was like, "Dang, dude,
This game sucks.
no, it was a really fun game."
I remember Oddworld. We're kind of off subject now.
Yeah, Oddworld was
Oddworld.
PlayStation 1.
Yeah, it's a cool game.
And you couldn't attack.
You just had
You had to like secret and
Move.
hide, because my friend DJ had that. Because he had the PlayStation before. I never had I didn't get a PlayStation until like PS3 was out, and then I went backtracked and bought one, you know, because they were been out for so long. But my friend DJ had a PlayStation, and he loved that game, and I'd go down there and watch him, and it was like you had to be all stealthy, and you had to free your
yeah, you had to free your
help
people
free your
sometimes.
people.
Yeah,
and then but also
the creatures were cool.
yeah, the creature, like you make a noise and the little dog thing,
Yes.
and be like,
Yeah.
and then you're dead. 'cause
What's
you
his
couldn't
name?
fight.
Abe.
Yeah, I think it was Abe.
I believe, right.
Yeah, but yeah, it was fun. I used to watch it. It was a little puzzle game.
Oh, let's. You want to go over this list real quick, or do
Sure.
you still got your?
Well, I mean, just
From there, it went like
oh man, PS2, and then I've had PlayStation, PS2, 3, 4, and now I own a 5. And then with Xbox, I had the original Xbox, the black box, and also that the original black box too. I lived in Ozark, and me and my brother we went all the way up to Montgomery, because it was an hour drive away, and we were going somewhere doing something, but we stopped in at GameStop, and it was around my birthday, and my brother's like, "I'll buy you a game or something," you know. You know me, I'm not the one to go in there and pick out like a $60 game. So I go in there and I'm looking around, and I pick up another game, and I was like, "Man, this looks pretty cool." It's a Game of the Year edition. I was like, "Oh yeah." And I looked at it. It's $20. It was a platinum hit,
yeah.
because that platinum hit was Xbox. You know, greatest hits was PlayStation. So I was like, "All right, I'll take this game." And he's like, "All right," and he bought it for me. It's like $20. We go home. I start playing it, and dude, I fell in love with it. And he hated it because it's an RPG, and it was Morrowind, Elder Scrolls, Game of the Year edition.
I don't remember that game.
That game got stolen too by that dude.
I hope he's happy.
Dude, I'm telling you, I used to
Let's go find him.
have a CD travel case that hold like 50, and that I'd take my games out of my, because walking around with the little cartridge thing or the box, stupid. Had it all in a flip CD. Dude, he stole my GameCube, and I had 4 Game Boy Advances because I played Crystal Chronicles and I had Four Swords: The Adventures of Link.
I remember that.
And you had to have to play those multiplayer. You had to have the Game Boy Advances SD because they were used as a controller. So I eventually bought like all 4 of them up.
I remember that
Because I loved having my friends play with me, because I'm a co-op kind of guy. But all that got stolen, dude. All my games, man, I had like so much money in the games.
Let's go find him.
Nah,
You know who he is? You know who he is. He says your friend's cousin.
no, it wasn't my friend's cousin. It was just a dude that worked with us, and he came over.
Oh, but you know him.
His cousin, while he took us out, like he went with us hanging out.
I can find you. Give me a name, I can find him.
He pulled up his phone and was like
resources.
texting, and we're all like, "Dang, who you talking?" He's like, "Oh, just some chick," and it's like, "Okay, cool." No, dude.
How'd you find out? Did he admit it?
Shortly after that, and he even worked with us, but I think shortly after that, he admitted it to my brother, and my brother fired him. Well, it was as he was getting fired, not because he didn't get fired because of that reason. He got fired because he was starting to suck at his job, And so as he was getting fired, he eventually somehow it got around back to us that
Probably I can give you stuff back if I can keep my job, kind of deal.
Yeah, but no, dude, they flipping pawned it as soon as he left and all that. Dude, it was gone, man. But I had hundreds of dollars in my games.
I've never had anything stolen yet. I've had money in my wallet, and that's it.
Yeah.
But I'm super paranoid about it, though. I am super paranoid about locked doors, who knows what I have, and stuff like that. So I'm super paranoid about that anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just not a good idea to go around.
No, I'm just not very trusting with people.
Yeah.
I trust you, obviously, but
I definitely wouldn't take anything. But yeah, just I don't know, games throughout, man. Growing up, I can bore you to death with stories about games. Watching my friend DJ playing Tomb Raider when he had his PlayStation. And I never would play it. I'd just go down there and literally watch him play it. And it was an experience to see the game played out, especially when like you hit the World 3 and
I never played it.
the first it's technically level 3, but it's all like one continuous play. It's just like at the end of level 2, stage 2, it'd be like secrets found, all this and that. Then it would load in. So it's like one huge story, but it would break up the levels. The first time you get into level 3, and it's like you go through this cave and you're running, all of a sudden it's like grass, because it's down in like a cave system, and all of a sudden it's like grass, and you see a palm tree, and you're like, what the and the sky opens up where it's like all black because you couldn't render too far out because it's PlayStation, and it's like, what in the world? All that, and all of a sudden 2 raptors come running up, and you're like, what in the heck, raptors? What? Then you run up some more, and all of a sudden a T-Rex is like, and he's like, dude, it's like, first time you ever saw anything like that.
Were you on something?
No, dude, that's how the game is. I'm telling you. Look up some flipping videos of it. It's flipping awesome.
We'll go over this list real quick while we got time.
Yeah. Dang, 43 minutes in.
That's not bad. Not bad. Yeah. I about our average, but I figured as long as the camera holds out, man, we'll just keep rocking.
Yeah. All right.
So the birth of gaming, 1972.
72.
The Magnavox Odyssey. First home video game console.
Pong. That's probably the Pong.
Probably. It says it used transparent screen overlays to simulate graphics. Whatever. Oh, no, 1975. Atari Pong.
Ooh.
75, before I was born. Popularized video games with the arcade version and later home console. It was so simple, just 2 paddles and a ball, but sparked a gaming craze.
Yeah.
And then here comes the golden age. This is stuff we're talking about here. 8-bit consoles, Nintendo Entertainment System.
NES.
Yep. Super Mario Brothers became the first game to feature a scrolling screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, because Pitfall, it scrolled, but not a scrolling screen. Yeah. And that was in 1985. It says 83, 85. 83, it came out in Japan. It was called...
Famicom.
Yeah.
The Famicom system. And those were disc.
Mm-hmm. I think that's right. Yeah. And then the Sega Master System. I don't remember calling it being the Master System.
Like a floppy disk. That's what Famicom games were on.
Oh, floppy disks. Yeah. Good gracious.
Well, it had it was kind of like the plastic, like outer shell.
Yeah,
but inside was like a little disc.
The Sega Master System, 1985. Advanced graphics and sound compared to NES.
I think those were disc too, like a floppy. I believe so.
I think they were cartridges, if I remember correctly. The first Sega was cartridges, I believe.
Okay.
It had a hidden game snail maze accessible with a secret code. Look at this. I know this. 1989, the Game Boy came out.
Yeah, the green.
Yep. Tetris was bundled with the Game Boy and became a worldwide phenomenon. I remember Tetris. I was like, what is this?
Yeah. Dude, I watched a documentary on the Tetris thing, where it's like the creator and all that, because he was Russian.
Oh, yeah.
And dude, he flipping fought, like he created the game, didn't see a dime of it until his like retirement age, because it's Russia. They come in like, this is our property. And they took.
Tetris is one of those so simple, unique phenomenons.
Yeah.
And he didn't see a dime of it, huh?
Well, not until later on. He even had to, he actually, like, once he got, like, up in age, he moved from Russia to Seattle and opened up a gaming company and all that. And then he was still fighting to get the rights to it. And then eventually Russia was like, after the collapse of the
Cold War ended, Berlin Wall fell.
Then he was like, they were like, all right, because they were trying to get money to try to save it. So they were just like, all right, fine, you can have it. Or something. I've rumored some
probably
kind
political pressure.
Yeah, and not political pressure, but one company that the Seattle was trying to buy it from him or something. And I don't know, it worked out, but he got sole rights to it and all this and that, and he makes the royalties off of it now and all that. But I tell you, one of the best versions of that game is on 64, called the New Tetris. I have it. I played it with a friend of mine for a very long time. But it's the way, like, it, instead of just making like the normal lines, you know, if you can get 4 shapes to make a square cubed, a symmetrical cube, if it's 4 different colored shapes or different shapes together, you can make one. It turns into a silver block, and it would be more points whenever you lined it. But if you got like 4 blocks, you know, like the cubes, if you put 4 of the same type together, it would make a gold one, and those were even more points and lines.
Never played Tetris out like that. I just played on Game Boy, maybe Nintendo.
And then like a background thing of it, it was like, it always happened passively, is it would have like landmarks. Like the very first one would be like Mount Rushmore. You needed 5,000 lines. And so as you're playing the game and you're building up, you know, consecutively over months, you could go to like the gallery and it would like drop lines down and like build out Mount Rushmore and all that. My friend that got me into playing it, dude, there was like 15 landmarks. He had like every one of them built, and you talking about like 15,000 lines, 30,000 lines, 90,000 lines. And it got all the way up to where it was like the Taj Mahal, and it was tremendous amounts of lines.
Where is he now? He's like thinking a waste of time. I don't know, maybe not.
I don't know. I wish I can get a hold of him, but
hey, reach out. You know what we're talking about. ash&burnz.
Last time I tried to reach out with him on my book, because, you know, I don't get a Facebook. I tried to reach out to him on my wife's, and I looked him up and I saw his picture and I was like, man, this is him. And I messaged him, but he lives up in Ohio now. And when I knew him, he could type pretty quick, but I think his job was closed caption, like live, like as people are talking, he's just like, and could type that quick.
Shorthand, probably, yeah.
I mean, I'm talking about but I'm thinking, like, yeah, that mother joker had the talent to do that, because he was brilliant, dude. He was a brilliant guy. Loved hanging out with him. He's the one I used to shotgun a case of beer with every night. We go and get shotgun and go inside and play New Tetris or GoldenEye. Yeah.
GoldenEye, yeah.
All right, sorry.
No, you're fine. The 16-bit revolution happened in 1990. The Super Nintendo Entertainment System, Super NES, SNES actually, made 7 graphics for pseudo 3D effects. Star Fox used the Super FX chip for enhanced 3D graphics.
Yeah, that's when they came out with the Mode 7 chip.
Yeah, I do remember that. Sega Genesis came out in 88. In 89? Oh, it was before Nintendo.
What?
Genesis came out before Nintendo did, apparently. Huh. Oh, do you remember
Before Famicom or Nintendo?
Super Nintendo?
The Super Nintendo?
Do you remember Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, and there's a third company, and their logo, their main guy was just like caveman. Oh, what was it called?
Amoeba?
Neo Genesis? No. There were 3 16-bit systems fighting at the same time.
Hold on. I'll Google this.
I mean, is it on here? No, it's not on here. Super Nintendo came out in 1990, 91. Sega Genesis came out in 88 to 89. Known for Sega Mega Drive outside North America. It marked itself with the slogan, Genesis does what Nintendo don't.
Yeah.
What was that thing called? There's a third system. I think Sega bought it out. But there was Sonic, there's Mario, and then there's this like baby caveman.
Yeah, I put in 16-bit video game systems from the 1990s, Super NES, Commodore CD-TV, CDI, Sega CD/Mega CD, the Neo Geo, and Amstrad.
I remember Neo Geo. Okay, so that was the one that came out, 16-bit. They didn't have any good games, though. The PlayStation came out in the 90s. Came out in 94, 95. Revolutionary gaming with CDs instead of cartridges. Originally, it was a failed collaboration with Nintendo. Yep.
Yep.
And then in the 2000s, we got the early 3D consoles. Xbox came out in 2001.
Year I graduated.
Famous for Halo. Xbox Live introduced online gaming to consoles in 2002. Yeah, I guess so. Because you think about it, you couldn't just reach out and play with people.
Yeah.
They had to come to your house if you want to co-play.
Dude, I remember on the original Xbox, whenever the first Battlefront came out.
Oh, yeah.
I think Battlefront 2 is when they integrated the heroes, where it's like you could be like Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, but they had a mode that was like it was only heroes versus heroes. So like, you know, if I'm Luke Skywalker, you gonna be Darth Vader, you know, but they also had like Han Solo, and he didn't have a saber force. He was blaster and then throw down mines, and then their proximity. So as the enemy comes near, they would blow up. But one game I remember, my brother, he saw me do this. Joined a game. I was like, you know what? Everybody's always either Darth Vader or all these Jedis. I was like, I'm gonna pick Han Solo, and I played that game all the way through, like the whole little match. At the very end, I tried to get a picture of it, but of course, back in the day, they didn't stay or nothing. 99 kills, 0 deaths with Han Solo, and it was very, very, very simple. All I would have to do is get a far away. Darth Vader come walking out. I'd be like, beep, beep, beep. He would turn to me, because after he gets hit a couple times, and he looks at me, and then once they look at you, they would lock on, and then anytime you'd fire, they would just automatically block it, you know. And so they would start coming, because they had like Jedi speed. I would throw a couple of mines down and roll backwards, and they would be like, boom, dead. Every time, because every player, they were like, "Oh, I'm a Jedi. I can do."
And you're like laying mines and just killing them.
Yeah, do. And
what?
Then when I did get hurt down a little bit, he had a cutter torch to where there was little droids. Some of them give you ammo, and some would fill up your life. And then all I'd do is dip away, run, dip, high, roll, da. I'd find a little droid and be like, repair it, because you know they would go by and slash it and kill it. I'd repair it up and then stand there, and it'd be like dee, my health back up, and then I'd run back out there and roll backwards, boom. It was
the whole rhythm down.
Yeah, it's 99 kills, 0 deaths. I was the only person in that entire game that didn't have any deaths, but I remember that. But anyway. Tell you, I can bore you all day with stories.
No. You're a gamer dude, man. You want a gamer guy, yeah?
Yeah.
2000 Xbox came out. I said that. Nintendo Wii in 2006 had the controller, that sensor and that controller. That was so unique.
Yep.
The Wii remote was originally called the Revolution controller. Glad they didn't stick with that. PlayStation 3 featured Blu-ray playback. That's right. 'Cause
Blu-ray.
Blu-rays are still new. It's like PlayStation could
That
play
was the next
Blu-rays.
best thing. Blu-ray.
The PS3 processing power made it popular for scientific research.
Good gravy.
I did say I didn't have a 3. I did have a 3. I didn't have the first gen 3. I had after a year it was out, where they slimmed it down. Didn't have that curve to it so much. But I had a 3 for a long time. Remember the first 3 was like it's all curved and roundish.
I think I had the second one where it wasn't as big.
Yeah.
The slimmed down version.
2010s, the modern powerhouses. Nintendo Switch came out in 2017. Man, that long. Playable TV and portable. It became the fastest selling console in Nintendo's history. I believe that. I have 4 of them.
Yeah.
The boy broke one, had to buy another one, so I bought 5 of them in my life.
Yeah. 300 a pop too.
Well, it was cheaper to buy a new one than repair it.
Yeah.
Because he was like a little boy, like, just, whatever. The PlayStation 5 came out in 2020. Really? I thought it came out later than that. Known for
Coming up on 5
ray
years,
tracing
homie.
and ultra-fast SSDs. PS5 design was inspired by futuristic architecture. I wish I'd go back to the box. You can't stand it nowhere. It's too curvy. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's like, I get it. It's cool, but chill.
Yeah.
Xbox Series X and S, 2020. Backwards compatibility, which PlayStation says it does, but doesn't do.
That's a lie, because I have Crimson Butterfly on
Doesn't
there.
play?
It doesn't play, and that's for the original Xbox.
The Series X resembles the mini PC tower, focusing on raw power. Some fun facts about gaming. You ready for this?
You sure?
Longest console lifespan. Sony's PlayStation 2. Yep. 13 years. I thought it was 13 years.
Ding, ding.
Best-selling console ever. Quirky accessories. Nintendo once created a sewing machine that connected to the Game Boy. I don't remember that at all.
Good gravy. That's Japan release only. They're trying to get them girls working.
Nintendo World Championship cartridge is one of the most sought-after items in gaming.
Because there's only 1 or 2 of them.
Nintendo World Championships?
Yeah. There's only 2 of them, and I think they sell for like $50,000 to $60,000. I think there's one that's like $500,000. It's worth like $500,000.
Lord.
That was the College Campus Challenge cartridge, where it's like it doesn't even look. It's just basically like a frame, and then it's just like the computer chip out in the open, and the only thing's like a Sharpie written on it. It's like Campus Challenge. Yeah. And they would go around to the colleges, and you would get the high scores on stuff. And they went around to like 10 colleges, and then the top 2 players of each college, they went to like Las Vegas, and they brought those winners in. And the very, very top 2 of those dudes, because they put them on teams, the very top 2 of those dudes won like a bundle set or something. And a car. I think they gave them a car.
Oh, okay. I was
And then
gonna
like
say.
$10,000 or something for their schooling, because it was on
Jesus.
college. Yeah, it was a big deal. But that cartridge, it's like one of a kind.
It's probably with this Coca-Cola and KFC Spices secret vault right now.
Yeah.
The handheld consoles, this is a quick little one. Game and watch simples. Simple LCD handhelds feature 1 game per unit. Came out in 1980. Game Boy, 89. Game Boy Color. Game Boy Advanced, 2001. Wow, really? Nintendo DS. DS Lite. Nintendo DS XL. Nintendo 3DS.
Ooh.
Nintendo 2DS. Nintendo Switch Lite. And do you remember Virtual Boy?
Yeah. A little.
Had Wario
You
game.
put your head up in there.
It didn't fit with my. Well, I have a very big head. My face is wide across here.
Yeah.
Like the sunglasses fit like right here, and I'm like. But the Virtual Boy, what's to say, attempted 3D game, but was poorly received due to its monochrome display and discomfort.
Well, it was only red.
Yeah.
It was red only.
Came out in '95. So I mean, And then Nintendo Classic Mini consoles. I think. Do you have one of those? The
No,
Classic
because
Minis?
that's like and they all work off just like the USB
Okay, you
or
have
whatever.
like an emulator.
Yeah, I have one that's like big, but it's like 3 slots.
So basically, we have changed the universe from going out and farming the fields, playing outside, playing ninjas, to introducing our kids. I regret introducing video games to my boy. I had a friend tell me don't do it, and I said, okay. But I didn't want him to be left behind with his peers.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit, and you couldn't
Game over, man.
game over, dude. So they don't socialize. So I was like, buddy, play Fortnite, talk to your friends, play. So that's the only socialization he gets is due to video games, because our life is much different now than it was when me and you grew up.
Yeah.
Me and you grew up, we'd roll in when the streetlights came on. We're out there. And nowadays, kids just do it on video games because there's so many damn weirdos out there. And, the world's kind of
Going crazy.
So, and the future's coming up. I want to get another gaming console that we have in the house. It's kind of a gaming console. Is the Meta Oculus? Is that it?
Doing that. Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's fun. It's fun little virtual reality game. It's nothing major.
Why don't you just get the Elon chip in your brain?
I don't want to lose no hair. I don't want to lose more hair than I have.
You'll be in the Matrix playing a game.
But I thought about asking for Christmas. I want the PlayStation virtual reality for PS5. It looks like it'd be fun.
I think that's like
That's like $600.
yeah.
It's expensive as a PS5.
Yeah.
But it looks like
You
a
could play
lot of
No
fun.
Man's Sky with it.
Oh, that'd be wild.
Inside your cockpit, and you have to look around and like move the switches to go.
Boy, I'd be vomiting because I'd be flying like crazy, especially with that S-class ship I got.
Yeah.
I got a fighter ship that's fast and nimble, and it's got heavy guns on it.
That's like my I call it the cue ball.
Yes, what mine is, little cue ball looking thing.
It's just a little
Has a
bubble
point on it,
Yeah, mine's just a little
a
bubble,
little bubble.
and that's all it is. And then it's got the engine in the back. And you gotta just get it. It's the best little. I use the shotgun attachment to it because enemies will fly at you.
Yeah,
and
boom,
you
boom,
just
boom.
boom, boom, and they're dead. And you fly right through their stuff and pick their stuff up, and then you just go on to the next.
I've been-
a little ball.
I haven't played No Man's Sky in a minute,
Yeah, I haven't either.
but I was getting the droid ships. I was getting those. I got one live ship. I don't like it. It just looks weird. I don't like the live
Yeah.
ships.
Yeah,
But No Man's Sky is incredible. They're going to add AI to that. I mentioned that before. So the creators of that game is a couple of college students. It has 18 trillion planets in it, technically. And
well, they keep growing. 'Cause
Yeah.
every time you beat the game, it creates a new
Yeah.
seed,
yeah,
new
yeah,
universe.
yeah. I got 2 universes in that game, but they're going to add AI into that game.
Oh no,
I know, and so
they're going to see how they conquer the universe.
possibly there's going to be stuff going on that's going to be like, I don't know. I don't know how you're going to experience that. They're talking about the creator of The Sims says he wants to put AI in Sims, and it's going to be like, I know. At one point, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be like, I would like to see what happens.
Yeah, until they bust in your door and start killing you.
Yeah. Well, in the game or really?
I mean, either or.
Okay. Next thing you know, the property value's going down in your neighborhood because the crime's up rampant. The police are like, I'm too close to retirement.
Yeah, it's flipping the T100 in here.
Yeah. And then the Tesla bots. Hello, Steve.
Yeah.
Hello, Burns.
I will never get one of them.
I want one. I'm going to get a Tesla bot if I can.
I ain't
Hopefully
ever,
this channel will blow up and I can make so much money doing these podcasts.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a Tesla bot. It's going to sit here and go, I'm thirsty. Like, here you go, sir. And his eyes will turn red and I'm like,
Yeah, iRobot.
I'm going to get a Tesla bot.
No.
Vacuum the floors.
That's what the little Roomba
I
does.
want a Tesla bot. I want an Optimus.
Optimus Prime.
Yep, I want one. Anyway,
Gross.
you're gross.
That'd be the undoing.
Of what?
Your life, sucker.
It just enhances your life. See, look, there's a damn bug in here. Told you that's why I got the screen up.
Well, it's got a gap.
Well, I can't help the gap. For some reason, it does have a gap. It's like the window's bowed.
The screen's bowed.
So once again, it's a pretty night outside. We're here in the kitchen man cave studio. I have the window open over here with the screen in it, and outside I can hear the koi pond running, and you can't see nothing.
Nope.
Maybe my big deck out there.
It's all black
It's all black, baby.
because it's nighttime.
Big
We
blackened
got a full moon.
deck. Is it? Oh, he has a full
we
moon.
do,
Right?
but it ain't doing enough. It ain't penetrating them trees.
Ash and Burnz gaming consoles, baby.
Gaming.
I've been very fortunate. I haven't got them on the release date,
Yeah, same.
but I've always gotten them when they go down in price. Usually,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, I got friends that get it the day of. Remember standing in line for stuff? I don't do that.
I went to with a friend. They got Halo 2 when it first
I
dropped.
remember Halo 2 was insane. The release
Yeah, we stood out there for a minute.
midnight on like weekday night at GameStop. Was that it, or was that different?
No, that was different. We went during the day,
Long
but
line.
yeah, we drove, walked in, line. Finally got, because he had his like pre-ordered. He just had to go up and like show his receipt, but it was still like.
Ash and Burnz. We are on YouTube. We are on Spotify. We're on Amazon. Check us out. ashandburnz@gmail.com. Also check out accordingtoplans.com. We'll get, every time we do one of these, I think we get better. Last week was a little scientific-y.
Yeah.
We didn't cut up as much. This one we didn't cut up as much. We just kind of reminisced and had a little, you know.
Hey, you want a structure instead of free
I
flowing.
tell you what. After this one, let's just take a break. Let's go here and get wild. We'll have another buck wild. TheMechanicsville.com. Yeah, TheMechanicsville.com. Check it out. Another website here. They sponsor it. They don't pay me though. I'm smart enough. Ash and Burnz podcast. Forever in your life. You need it, man. You need it, baby. I'm talking to you, Al. You need this. Brian.
Yeah,
B-Rye.
need it.
You need it in your life, baby.
Put it inside.
Put it inside you. Ash and Burnz inside.
Let it rumble around.
See ya.